Dear friends, in this video I will show you how to convert the latitude and longitude which you receive in your map, in your app, to an actual address. So let's begin. To start with, in this video I will take the app which I created or developed in one of my previous videos, the link for which I will post above and also in the description below. And this particular video was posted on YouTube on around 22nd of June 2019. So please refer to that video. I will strongly recommend to start with that video, so you know how I created the basic, the first part of this video. So in this video I will concentrate or focus on converting the latitude and longitude to an actual address which can be human readable in street name and all those things. So let's begin. So if you see, my most of the stuff is already done. I'll just quickly recap what was done in the previous video. So we got the Google API or Maps key from the Google console. The steps, please see the previous video. In manifest file we have granted few permissions like location and internet and SMS also, which is of course not required in this video, but yeah, this is carry forward. And then in the main activity, which is the my like Java code, here first I have got all the privileges required, and then on the map ready I'm first of all by default I'm putting the marker in Sydney, and then I'm putting a listener, location listener, and whenever the location changes my marker goes to the respective place. And if you click on the marker in your map, it will show marker in Sydney. So over here we'll modify this code to certain extent so that we can convert the latitude and longitude to an actual address. So before starting we'll need few buttons and text box to view our output. So let's go to the layout, and in the XML file, activity maps XML file, in the text format you can go. You can directly do it in over here in this design format as well, but this map is a fragment, so what we'll have to do is probably we'll have to enter or make it a more dynamic layout. So over here what we'll do is first we'll create a frame layout. We will get an option to frame layout, and in this frame layout my other stuff probably I can copy paste from here. And what is this? This is probably not used, so I think I can remove it. Yeah, if it's not used, it's not required. Probably we'll see if there is some error, we'll just bring it back, but as of now I think it's not required. So I'm just copy pasting because most of the stuff will be anyway same. I don't need an ID over here because layout, frame layout, and then probably we'll also not need a name. I will need definitely a width and height which will map this match parent, and over here probably I will need something like to end my layout which will be I don't know, frame layout. Okay, so once done this, so now this map becomes one of the part of my layout. If I go back to my design view, we can see it here. Okay, now what I will do is, instead of matching the height, matching the parent, I will change it to some other value, say for example 550 dp, because I want to create some space down below over here so that my buttons and other things can come up. Probably in parallel I will also rerun it so that I can see what are the size of the map I get, and in parallel I can do my further coding here. So yeah, if you see that space came up over here, of course in the design layout also you can see the spaces over here which has come up. And now what I can do is I can add button. Probably I'll just do everything in XML format in this particular video, so that I can show how you can do it in video in XML format as well. So I'll just first create a button, and the width of the button probably I will keep it 100 dp, and height I will keep it as lab content here. So I am looking forward to create a button over here in this right corner. So for that probably I'll also need a button ID. No, I don't think so because I won't be using it anywhere. And what else I will need is I need a layout margin, and layout margin to start with. I'll start from somewhere around 300 dp, and then I will also have Android layout margin to from left or from top it should be 600 degree. Yes. So once done this, what else I need is I need to set the text on that button. So the text on that button will be probably I will have to put some kind of resource string, and of course app name is not there. I will just create a new one and get location. And once done this, what else I need is I'll need a on click method, but that probably I'll do it later on. Before I'll try to quickly fix this one, so I'll just press alt enter, create new resource and create location. Yeah, so whatever I typed there, that will be replaced by this text over here. Now having done that, what else we'll need is we'll need probably a text view. And in this text view, the width will be 280 dp and the height will be again wrap content. Yeah, and what else I'll need is I'll need a ID definitely, because this I'll be accessing through my Java code. So ID will be at the rate of plus ID I think any text you can type over here, but make sure you use the same text in your Java code. What else we need is we need again the margin. To start with, we will use 50 dp, and then we'll also put something from top, that how much below I want to push it. So that again I'll put 550 dp. So please note I have tried all these margins upfront, but if you want to experiment with some other values, you are free to do that. And also we should put some kind of text which we want to display on this. So Android text and the rate of string, of course I will just put something like text for my location display. Yeah, and once done that, probably you can again press alt enter to create a new resource, and I'll just say location displayed here. Yes, so click OK. That's it. Now we'll need a couple of edit text box for getting our latitude and longitude. So what if a person wants to physically check a particular latitude and longitude in your code? So for that I need again probably I'll make it with as 100 dp and height again wrap content should be better. And in terms of ID, I will go for Android ID equal to at the rate of, and probably I'll just type edit text lat. So this is for latitude, the first one, and I'll just have margin again. So from a start it should be 300 dp. So I'm trying to bring everything on the same level as this button. And Android from top, it will be slightly above my button. Yeah. So what else? We'll also can put a kind of hint here. So Android hint and at the rate of string. Again, I'll just delete this and put latitude. Yes. And again, I'll press alt enter to latitude. So once done that, now the last part remains is longitude. So I can probably I'll just copy paste this again. I don't want to type it again and again something. Control V. Of course, it is giving errors for ID because ID should be unique. And for longitude, my other things will remain same. The only thing I'll change is I'll bring it a bit down to 550 dp, and also I'll change it to longitude. Yeah, and then I press alt enter. Oh no, okay, so by mistake I pressed twice. So if you go back to your resource file, the place where the values are strong in the strings.xml, you'll see that for longitude that value has not come up. So that's a long thing. I think by mistake I just pressed enter, so I should have typed here something like longitude, and then probably I can just put string. Yeah, I don't need this part here. So make sure you can go to, revisit your strings.xml file and make sure that all the values are correctly created. Now I'll just run it to see how my layout looks. So layout there should be one text box here, two edit text box here, and one button should appear here. Perfect. So over here we can put latitude, longitude, and get the location. Then marker should move to the respective place. So we can now start our Java coding. So the Java coding, we won't touch anything in the code which we have done previously. We'll create a new function. Probably we'll name it as public void and get location or location. Get location details. View. Yeah. So once done this, before we proceed, let me go back to my layout and quickly assign this to the button click. So in this we can add one more property which is on click, and this on click we can put this get location details because it's a public method which we have defined, so it will appear over here automatically. So once you go back, it will get changed from gray to black or dark. That means it is being used somewhere. Okay, so before we proceed, we'll also quickly create some of our this widgets as a global variable here. So one was our text view, other was our edit text. So we have two edit text, one is for latitude, and probably we can have one for edit text longitude. Yeah, and then in our own create method we'll just quickly assign these values. So our text view will be nothing but find view by id r.id dot I think this will text view. With this is getting associated to this part, the location displayed here. And then we have one is latitude, so find view by id r.id dot edit text lat, and then one we will have for the longitude part. So edit text, I don't know why it's not coming long. Okay, so why that part is okay, I think by mistake I put get here, which was not intentional. I like to maintain this. Yeah, so edit text longitude, find view by id r.id dot edit text longitude. Yes. So once created this, we can also initialize our latitude longitude variable here. So that we can create because we are already creating the variable, but we are not initializing it, and it's a good idea because we will be using this variable in our method. And what if it should have some kind of initial value? That's always a good idea. So in this we'll need our latitude and longitude. So probably what we can do is we can have the same latitude and longitude what we use for Sydney here, which is minus 34 and 151. Probably what we can do is instead of using Sydney, we can also modify in this part of the code to directly update this latitude and longitude. Okay, so that will also make sure that latitude and longitude is updated, but I don't want to touch the code which I did in my previous video, so I just modified this part of the code. So it's same anyway, this latitude longitude will have the same coordinates what this variable Sydney has. So now we'll go back to our method which we are creating. So over here first we'll create two variables. One is for, and that should be double because our latitude and longitude variable should be double always, and our latitude will be nothing but this latitude. So whatever the values we assign, that will come to here. Longitude should be lat dot longitude. Yes. Now these are the values which we'll get from the default what we are setting here. But what if a user has come to this app and entered something in the edit text box and he wants that to be used? So we should in fact use that also, but before that we should do one quick check that whether this our edit text long get text dot toString if it's empty or not. If it's empty, or of course we'll have to check for the other one as well, the edit text latitude get text toString is empty. If any one of this is empty, then we should of course use that. Otherwise we can update whatever the user has entered over here. So I will just put null over here, I mean negative, and over here then I will modify this in a way that okay, so let me copy paste things from here, Control C, Control V. I don't need this double. Okay, and instead of latitude, what I will need is probably, okay, I'll need to read the values from this text box. So what I'll do is first I'll put a double dot parse double edit text. This is for latitude, so this should be latitude get text dot to string, and similarly I will do it for longitude, which will be double dot parse double edit text long dot get text dot to string. Yeah, perfect. I think I missed a semicolon above there. Yeah, so once we have it, it shows that it's not never used. Of course we'll use it later in our code. So that's error we can just ignore for the timing. And of course we'll also have to update our latitude longitude variable, because we will use this variable to update our map and map camera. So again we can use the same code, and here we can just put our latitude comma longitude, whatever we are defined above. So once done this, now we will get to the actual part of the code where we will define our geocoder to get the actual address from the latitude and longitude. So this goes and retrieves the information from the Google Maps. So that's what we'll be doing here. So list, and in this address, so this gets me the location, and we can have the addresses over here. Yeah, and then in this geocoder we have to define the local. So local we can go for the default one. Yeah, now we can have few variables like address. I will initialize it with null, because in case we don't get the values accurately, then there should be some null values. I want to initialize, there should be some initialization done. Similarly I'll do for, then after city probably make a state, and then I'll make it null over here. And now I think it should be kept a string, and country null. So you can as per your requirement, you can see what all information you need. I'm trying to show you all the options which you can retrieve from the location information, because I want to make this tutorial as much comprehensive as possible. Yes, so once done this, then probably we can start using our get the address from our this list. So let's do this way. Address, I think first we should put addresses. Yeah, so now we'll use our geocoder to get from location, and this needs the information of latitude, longitude, the information, and maximum results. I'll just put 1. So once done this, I think there's some error over here. So if we just hover over this, it says there are some exceptions which we need to capture. So I'll just run it with try catch. That's all. And then yeah, it's anyway better to always put try catch or use try catch to handle exceptions as much as possible. Now we'll get the informations from this addresses what we got the variable over here. So addresses dot get index will be 0, of course, and then we can get the address line with the 0. So this will get me the address line. Now for city, what we can do is we can again go to the address, and then no, it should be addresses, of course, and then we can get the first the index should be 0, and then the get locality. And what else? So probably we can just fetch different information what we have in addresses. Get 0 dot get admin area. Yeah, so these are the, and then country, probably we can directly have country name, addresses, get country code, or instead of code we can go for name directly. Yes, because it will be like readable. For postal code, what we can do is we can again go for addresses dot get 0 dot get postal code, and then last is probably, I think, no name. If it exists, of course, then only it will return it, otherwise it will just enter blank or empty. Get 0 dot get feature name. So this I am trying to show you over here how you can pull out different information from this variable addresses which you got from here based on the latitude longitude get from location. And then once all these variables are ready, then probably what you can do is we can show it on the map. So I can just copy paste this part of the code from above where we try to show the map. Yeah, so Control C, I come back to my our method, I just do Control V. So maps marker and position will be, of course, not Sydney, it will be the latitude and longitude what we have modified here, and here also latitude and longitude. And now in the title you can modify it accordingly according to your requirement. So we can just put marker in, and then we can probably make a nice text out of the informations which we have got over here. So it will be nothing but address plus city plus state plus country. So you can do whatever information you need. I will just try to print everything. So this all information will come on the marker. So right now if you click on the marker, it just comes marker in Sydney, but later on it will show all these informations. Okay, so once done this, it will make sure that our map shows the marker shows this location, whatever the location is set. But also we have to update this our text view. So I'll just update our text view dot set text, and over here probably I'll set the same text whatever I'm setting here, marker in whatever address. So probably I don't need the marker in text. I'll just print this 5-6 variables whatever I have over here. So I think that's all from the code perspective, and it should work. So I'll just quickly run it in parallel, and in the meantime I'll also just verify my code. Yeah, so if you see, it has rebooted. So before I give my latitude longitude, I just click get location button, and something is coming. So it's in Australia, New South Wales, and if you click on this marker, it still shows marker in Sydney, and the reason for that is probably it is still showing this part of my code, the first part over here. And yeah, so probably if I modify it, should I was expecting it to modify this. I don't know why it's not showing. So let me do one thing. Let me just give some latitude. I don't know what is this 10, and 10 will be probably somewhere around 5 will be somewhere UK. So I think I'll increase it from 10 to, I'll bring it a bit more higher. So 50. I'm just giving it randomly. I'm not sure if that kind of position will exist. So it exists somewhere over here in Germany. So it's Rio de Gerin, and there's a name. Oh, not in Germany, sorry, it's in Belgium. And if I click on this, it shows the marker in this. So this is the part of the code which is working over here. Perfect. So if I try to modify it further, so say for example, instead of 5, I move it a bit on the right hand side and come towards Ukraine or Kazakhstan or Asia. So I'll just move to, say for example, 40, and I'll see what happens till what part it comes. So it's now somewhere in Russia, and it shows, yeah, somewhere in Russia. If I try to bring it somewhere down, somewhere near Iraq, so I will have to increase, or let us say decrease my latitude to, say for example 20. It will come near to, a bit near to equator. And if I go back here and click on get location, it closed because I think my that was not a valid string. So I'll just try it again once again. So of course it starts with Sydney because Sydney is the default location which we have given. So it goes the location of Sydney over here. So now I again change to some other location, say for example 22 as a latitude, which is somewhere around near the Tropic of Capricorn, and longitude I'll bring it towards the right hand side in Asia. So say for example if I bring it to 72, and let's see where it goes when it comes to Asia. In which part? It's somewhere in Pakistan or India. It's in India, in Gujarat. So it's in Mevasa, Gujarat, and this is the information which you are getting. I can move a bit further on the right hand side. So for that I'll have to increase my latitude from 72 to say for example 82, and then I'll see to what part of probably India, or I don't know whether it will go to China, but it is still in India. It's in a state called Chhattisgarh. If I further go right, it will go to China. So I'll just make a bit 100 or probably 120, and I'll move it a bit on the higher side. So I'll make it 30, and I'll see where it goes. So now it's somewhere in the China, and the location is in Zhengzheng in China, and this is the pin code number, and all the information are here. Okay, so I hope that's all. I won't try more coordinates. You can keep trying. So in this app you'll get the flexibility of whether you can enter the coordinates on your own by manually, or also you can, if you are moving and then whenever there is a change in the marker, you can just click on the get location, and the current position of the marker will be highlighted over here. So I hope this video was useful. So before I close, I'll just summarize quickly. Please see my previous video to see how I created this first part of the app. Then in the XML file or the layout file, just enter few these buttons and all. And once you have done it, then you can go to your strings and create the particular resources. And then in the Java code, create this new method where you will be, where did it go? Yeah, this is the method. So and over here you will use the geocoder to get the different details of the location. So in my description I'll paste this part of the code, the geocoder, because this is the main part of the code and the main logic lies here. For the other part, please view my previous video. So over here I'll end my video here. So if you have any questions or suggestions, please put in the comment section, and if you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.